Hello everyone and welcome to a Python tutorial. Today we're going to be making a simple calculator. So for this calculator we're going to be prompted to put in one number and a second number, and that's it. So one number, second number, add them, subtract them, multiply or divide them, or we can even get the mod of the two, which is the remainder. So first thing, we gotta enter our variables. So number 1 equals, right now we'll set to 0. Number 2, we'll also set that to 0. So now we want to ask for input. So I'll show you two ways to ask for input. We first gotta name the variable that we're gonna do it on. So this will store our input. C1, choice 1, whatever you want to name it. It can be anything except for number 1 and number 2 because those are already used. So then we're going to have to input and type out what do you want the first number to be. Now we're going to print C1. So it's asking us what do you want the first number to be, which is going to go into here, and then it's going to print out C1 while we input it. So we're going to run this. What do you want your first number to be? 1. And it's going to print 1. But, so I'm going to show you this one problem that we're going to run into, is that if we do C1 equals C1 plus 2, that we're going to set our first number to 1, and that should give us 3, right? 1. And it gives us an error. See, when we ask for input, that's going to set it to a string, which is text, and you can't add or subtract text to go higher or greater. It's just gonna add the two and combine them. So we want to make this an integer, which is a number. So now C1 is an integer. We're gonna run. What do you want our first number to be? 1, and we get 3. So we want it to be an integer, which we have it where you put int, and in parentheses you type in your code. So now we're going to get rid of this and type in print. We want this to be in quotes. Your first number is, then put a comma, and that'll add a space in between these two. First number is 11. Your first number is space 11. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to show you another way of getting input. So we can go C2, or actually we're not going to even do anything yet. We're going to print what do you want your second number to be? Question mark. Now C2 equals int input. Now this is just getting input on one line. So usually, I'll show you here as we run it. This is getting input on this line. So you follow my cursor, not on any lines below it. So you enter right there. There's no spaces or anything. Now see right here, we're entering on the second line. This will just make it a bit more kind of neater and not like be so condensed. So we didn't set anything, so it's going to print your second number is. I'm going to show you something else that we can do. We can just do a plus C2. Now let's see what that does for us. See, we can't do a plus because it's an integer, and you can only do strings with the plus. So we have to use a comma. Now we want to set our inputs to number 1 and number 2. Now we can just replace them here, but we're going to make this a bit more complicated, of course. And then we're going to set C1 is equal to number 1. Actually, number 1 equals C1. Then number 2 equals C2. And we're going to print C1, comma C2. So that'll give us a space in between both. 1, 1. Your second number is 1. Then we see we have 1 and 1. Because that's what we're trying to print. So we're going to keep all this. Then we don't actually need that. We're going to ask if they want to do the mod to find the remainder, add, subtract, multiply, or divide their number, or their two numbers. So now we are going to do print. So now we're going to ask if they want to operate. It's not operator, it's like what type of math they want to do. So do you want to add, subtract, multiply, divide, or find the remainder? I don't know. I don't think that's how you spell remainder, but I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm sorry. So, C3 equals input. Now, we want them to respond with a certain type of response. So, please respond with plus, minus, and slash, and percent sign. There we go. Just gonna add some spaces on that. So now if, here's where we want to add our conditional. If C3 is equal to plus, so what's the difference between this double equals and this single equals? Well, a double equals checks it once. So it'll check that, if that's equal to that, and a there work. And that sets something equal to it. That double checks, single sets. So if that's equal to that, we are going to code. Now if C3 is equal to minus sign, and the hashtag is a comment, the computer won't pick it up. So you can write whatever you want there. C3 is equal to multiply. We're going to type in our code. And if C3 is equal to, we're going to do that first. Code. And if C3 is equal to mod, we're going to do the code. So now we want to actually do the coding. So number 1, we're actually going to set number total is equal to 0. Number 1 plus number 2. Now we're going to set that equal to number total. So now we just added the two numbers right there, as you can see. Now we're going to print the sum of your numbers is number total. Now here, we want to subtract the two numbers. number total is equal to number 1 minus number 2. Now print the remainder. How do you spell that? Remainder. Okay. Alright, so it's actually the difference. So now here we're going to write for the multiply. Number total is equal to number 1 times number 2. Now print the difference, or no, the product of the two numbers is number total. Now for division. So this is pretty repetitive, but we gotta drill it into our heads. I keep just copying out the top. Oops. What is it called? Alright, so it's the quotient of your two numbers is number total. Now for the mod, this will find the remainder. I'm going to just put the number 1 mod number 2. Alright, let's see if this works. We should have tested it earlier. I'm certain that it'll work. So 1 plus 1. Oops. No, I got it. Sum of our numbers is 2. We're actually going to put this in a while loop. Actually, no, then it's a bit slower. 1, 1, subtraction. Right, difference is 0. 2 times 2. The product is 4, of course. And then 4 divided by 2. 2.0. So why does it give us 2.0? Because we have one division sign, or slash. If we put 2, it's going to round down. So 4 divided by 2, we get 2. Now, let's say, I'll show you that it rounds down. We'll do it as, we'll do 5 divided by 2. That's 2. And if we do no editing, just 1 slash 5, 2, we get 2.5. So 1 is more convenient. You just get 1, no decimals, and 1 gives you a more honest answer, which we'll use. So now for the mod. We'll do 13 and 2. Second number is 2, just mod action. Remainder is 1. Because I cannot explain it, but 2 and 6 makes 12. Nothing goes into 13, so the closest it could be is I think that's how you do it, but we have it right here. So with all your code, you want to write an author. So my name is Nick, and we'll explain what our code does. So this program does simple math equations with two user input numbers. Two numbers, the user inputs. So actually another way to write comments is to do 3 quotations marks, and that'll give you a block comment, because you can do it on more than one line if you want to break it up. So that is your first program. This program will teach you how to write simple math problems and ask for user input. So if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you on the next tutorial.